Just to clarify, so You're saying that the president and vice president believe that former President Donald Trump should be toning down his rhetoric?
So I'll say this. President Biden has been clear-eyed about the threat that the former president represents to our democracy. He's been clear-eyed about that.
It's only been like a day or so since a deranged Kamala Harris supporter tried to take out Donald Trump as he was golfing at the golf course. And the mainstream media has been blaming Trump for this. I kid you not. They're blaming Trump. They say that his rhetoric is what caused this. And that's one of the most delusional things I've ever heard. And I know that they don't even believe their own lies, but the fact that they got people convinced that they're telling the truth and that they're on the right side of history is absolutely insane to me. It's obvious that Democratic politicians, along with the left-wing media, they've demonized Trump to the point where crazy people are trying to take him out, right? It's their rhetoric. It's what they've been saying all these years. That's what's causing these problems. All of this political violence that we're seeing, it's coming from the left, yet they point the fingers at the right as if we're responsible. We're not the ones rioting in the streets every day. We're not the ones trying to take out presidential nominees. Yet every time I turn around, it's another assassination attempt. Either a crazy person trying to take out Donald Trump, or it's the media assassinating his character, or it's them weaponizing the legal system to throw Donald Trump in jail. But it's weird because we don't hear from Hillary Clinton much these days, right? It's like she kind of crawled into a hole. You don't really see her or hear from her much. I know that she's making the rounds a little bit now because of the election, but after this attempt on Donald Trump's life, she could not wait to crawl out of her hobbit hole, right? She couldn't wait to get her disgusting face in front of the cameras so she could inspire other people to do the same thing that Thomas Matthew Crooks did and that Ryan Wesley Ruth did. You know, they say that, oh, Trump needs to tone down the rhetoric. It's all Trump's fault, blah, 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 blah. And then Hillary Clinton goes on live television and goes on this insane, psychotic rant about Trump right after they just tried to kill Trump. And this lets you know their mentality. She's doubling down like, hey, you missed. We need to find another crazy one of you to try it again, basically. You know what I mean? That's basically what this woman is saying by making all of these insane claims about Donald Trump. But usually I would not subject you all to have to sit here and listen to Hillary Clinton. But I think it's important that you do listen to this clip just so you can understand how evil these people are. And this is the type of stuff they're spewing out of their hateful mouths right after a psychopath just tried to take Trump out. Let's roll the clip and then I'll be right back.
He's still being taught, especially by the media, that the more offensive he is, the more he can dominate the media space entirely. And I feel like you've been a good diagnoser of that, not only from when you were up against him, but from when others have done so. Do you have an antidote for that or a way that people can talk themselves out of taking that bait?
I think that's really a critical question, and I think there's a couple of things going on here. You mentioned the press, and sadly, the press is still not able to cover Trump the way that they should. They careen from one outrage to the next. What was outrageous 3 days ago is no longer on the front pages, even though it threatens the physical safety of so many people, particularly, as you point out, immigrants that he and Vance have decided to demonize. And I don't understand why it's so difficult for the press to have a consistent narrative about how dangerous Trump is. The late, great journalist Harry Evans, one time said that, journalists should, really try to achieve objectivity. And by that, he said, I mean, they should cover the object. Well, the object in this case is Donald Trump. His demagoguery, his danger to our country and the world, and stick with it. they were merciless about what they saw as President Biden's, problems in the debate and calling for him to withdraw. I believe Donald Trump has disqualified himself over and over and over again to be a presidential candidate, let alone a president. The second thing, though, is that part of what Trump is counting on is for people to get desensitized. I mean, oh my gosh, did you hear what he said yesterday? Did you hear who he attacked? Did you hear the viciousness? And it just like with a shrug, okay, fine, we're moving on. Well, Americans need to understand that they have to take Trump both seriously and literally. He has said what he wants to do. He and his allies with Project 2025, his desire to be a dictator, at least on day one, all of that is in the public record. And I believe that more Americans have to be, willing to endure what frankly is discomforting and to some extent kind of painful. To take him at his word and to be outraged by what he represents. And then finally, the hopeful side of this is that I do think more and more Americans are, rejecting the kind of chaos that he represents. We can't go back. That's what the Harris campaign says all the time. We're not going back. We're not going back to, what he failed to do to protect American lives during COVID. We're not going back to the, romance with dictators that puts, innocent lives at risk and America's security in danger. We can't go back and give this very dangerous man another chance to do harm to our country and the world.
Speaking of dictators, the Justice Department...
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm smart enough to know that the Democrats were going to continue demonizing Trump. But it's like we can't even get a grace period. We can't get 2 or 3 days of just normalcy. No. They have to bring Hillary Clinton out of nowhere to go ahead and come out here and heat things up a bit. Because what they want more than anything is they want more crazy people trying to do what these 2 other crazy people have already done. Make no mistake about it. When Hillary Clinton gets up there on the news after what happened in West Palm Beach, Florida, she is giving marching orders to her psychotic followers to try this again. Now, I have a prediction. I believe that eventually we're going to see a woman try this. It's been 2 guys so far. But with people like Hillary constantly coming out and demonizing Trump and targeting Trump, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a woman try to take out Trump next. And mind you, it's not like Hillary Clinton's the only one on the news saying stuff like this. Anyone you can think of, they're out there constantly already demonizing Trump again, trying to inspire another person to take him out again, right? And, people look at some of this stuff and they just write it off. Like, oh, look, it's dummy Hillary Clinton up here ranting about Trump again. But folks, Hillary Clinton, I know she looks like this helpless old woman that's up there ranting about Trump. She's one of the most dangerous women on planet Earth. Make no mistake about it. Yes, that old woman you just watched in that clip is one of the most dangerous women on Earth. And there is a long list of people who have spoken out about Bill Clinton or the Clintons. There's a long list of bodies that have been left behind because of Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. Everyone connected to them that threatens to come out and speak out about them, they get freaking whacked. I kid you not. There's so many different former advisors of Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton that have died in crazy, mysterious ways. So you could look up there and you think, oh, this just a woke, liberal, white woman, Hillary Clinton, blah, blah, blah. No, that's a cold-blooded freaking killer who has plenty of money that has allegedly hired people to knock people off before. You're looking at a freaking mob boss when you're looking at Hillary Clinton. And I know it sounds crazy and it's scary, but that's the reality that we live in America. But for now, I want to know your thoughts about all of this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.